12:03 on a Monday right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for joining us. Tune in on iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com. If you're watching over on YouTube today, let's hammer the thumbs up. Hit us up in the nasty chat as well. Could have been a situation where we were sitting here recapping the Cup final, recapping the season, talking about fast-forwarding things on a general manager with the draft and free agency just around the corner. But instead, we're sitting here breaking down an 8-1 win in Game 4 and start to set up Game 5 as well. What a time to be alive, eh, Tommy?
Longest season ever,
and
it's not even for bad reasons, which is great. But it's like, holy, what is this? And listen, who knows? Obviously, Edmonton's still in a deep hole, but it just keeps going on. And bring it on, man, because we're already almost there in July. So let's see what the Oilers can do. I like the demeanor from McDavid and Draisaitl postgame. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, they didn't look like they were happy campers. Yeah. They didn't look like they were satisfied. I can appreciate that, and I like that. So when I saw them up at the podium, we didn't run audio postgame. We just had a great conversation with all the texts and nasty chats, and Cass was excellent as always, and Trev was great. But I'm watching on my TV in the satellite studios at home, and I'm like, boy, they look pissed off. And I respect that. Yeah. I think that's the right way
they've handled it all pretty well so far.
Yeah, they have.
Final. Yeah, no, I think they have. If this thing actually ends up going 7 and ends on June 24th, the draft is that Friday.
I know.
Like the Stanley Cup final could be given. The Stanley Cup could be awarded on Monday, and the draft would be on Friday. Like the free agency then would start like the next week, a week out. A week.
Yeah. There are people and all the traveling media. I was talking to Chris Johnson. I mentioned it a bit on the Hangout, but CJ is like, I have to start considering doing laundry, or I quickly go between games back to Toronto, reload everything, and then come back to Edmonton if necessary. And then there's others that are like, oh no, I'm going straight to Vegas from the series being over. I'm going here. I'm like, damn.
Well, I gotta say, who's paying CJ's travel? TSN?
It might be The Athletic now.
Okay, because I was going to say, how the hell is he allowed to go home to pick up clothes on a flight? And I just thought, no way. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? I can't imagine emailing the traffic person being like, listen, I'm going to have to fly home to get more clothes. That's going to be another flight, and then you're going to fly me here. Like, no chance in hell. Right? There's no way that flies.
Do laundry. Awanek made a joke. He's like, I could let people do laundry.
I heard that. I was driving around when you guys were talking about that.
Actually, at the arena, for concerts and people coming through town, like Kevin Radomski was talking about this one day from the Oil Kings. They actually went and put in a bunch of big washers and dryers in like the garage area. And it's for the roadies, for the concerts. It's for visiting teams if they're staying longer.
Oh, really?
And so you don't, because the Oilers and Oil Kings have a huge laundry room.
Yeah.
But then there's also like that auxiliary laundry area. So you should be fine if you need your skivvies cleaned and all that stuff. So
just go buy some new underwear. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you go buy some new one.
I mean, that's not a problem.
Go to Costco.
I mean, that's always a great time anyway.
Yeah.
So
go to Costco. Get the 4-packs.
I can feel too sorry for somebody who.
But the point is it's taken this long.
Well, yeah, it's crazy.
Apparently, Shaggy said he had some travel issues. They didn't have any lights, so good luck to Cobra, a.k.a. Dave Parker.
He'll find a way.
He's the best.
He'll find a way.
He's so good.
Hey, speaking of the best, the video of Gene Principe chanting "We love Gene" with everybody else. Like, what an absolute legend. I love Gene Principe so much, man. Like, he's the nicest guy ever. He's a bloody legend. I was sitting in Vancouver after the Lions game. Didn't get to the pub or wherever. We went to a restaurant called, what was it, Global? Okay. Nice place. Had real nice spaghetti and meatballs. Ooh. It was like a real sort of fancy like seafood place, but we all got spaghetti and meatballs, and I have to say, it was delicious. Truffle spaghetti and meatballs?
Truffle, yeah.
Don't technically know really what that is 100%, but
truffle is, it
like
comes out of the
mushroom,
ground.
like a sprinkled sort of mushroom?
Yeah, it has a nice taste to it.
It was good. Anyway, great. But I'm sitting there, and we were there for a long time. We put in a good shift to this place. And I'm watching Gino do a post-game hit, and his freaking hair is just
I know.
all over the place right now. I'm sitting with Matt Dunnigan, and Dunnigan goes, what's the deal with this guy's hair? I was like, I don't know, man. Like sometimes he'll tighten it up, but then he just lets it go, and it's absolutely amazing. So I texted Gino at 10 o'clock Saturday night. I said, hey, I'm watching your hair from a restaurant in Vancouver after Lions game. Your hair is amazing. And then he texted me back yesterday morning and goes, I went to bed at midnight, woke up at 11:30 for a flight to Denver. Dustin like hours. My hair is running my show right now. It's out of control like Gazzola on Bumble. Take care and enjoy the CFL season.
What's he getting these shots
I don't know.
I
hadn't even mentioned you. I don't know why he took a shot at you in Bumble, but
so
I mean, was he wrong? Really? Like,
I'm not on there, but yes.
Yeah.
When I'm on there, go to town for sure. But
all right, Penner's Pancake says, hey, is Stoff dropping in today?
No, he's in Florida.
Stoff, look, I'll just throw this out there for Stoff. Stoff is too intimidated to come on Edmonton Sports Talk shows when I'm on them.
Isn't that crazy?
That has to be the only reason.
It has to be.
He came on the Hangout. I wasn't there. Came on the Oil Stream. I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. Twice the other day. He popped in.
Did he pop in twice?
Yeah.
Like back to back there?
He was having a great time. I think
I was listening. It was Jack first, right?
Jack Cookson actually sent a picture.
Yeah, I got that
Bob,
picture from Jack too.
And then Bob circled back.
It's a real. It wasn't a great screen cap from Cookson. Did you see it?
Yes, Bob showed it to me. And I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Stoff looks like
he was disheveled.
He looks like a little bit. He looks like Tom Cruise in 10 years. You know, he always says that. That's Tom Cruise in 10 years.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's. Look how happy you are, though.
Well, I was laughing. Everybody's smacking my shoulders. Like, what's up?
I'm gonna take this.
I'm on the air right now.
I'm gonna put it on a shirt right here. I think that would be hilarious.
It was unreal because all I did was I set up. We had that nice backdrop that they have in the media center, which is great. They've done an excellent job. The league and the Oilers, OEG, they were giving props through the roof to everybody in the setup there. It's been awesome in and around the arena. And so I'm just sitting there, and the route from the podium to the snacks and the lunch spread and all the beverages and stuff was right in front of my table. So everybody was like, you're on? And then they would just come and say hi. It started with Jack, then Bob, then Gene, then Noodles, then Bob again, then Gaz. It was funny. It was good. I had a fun time. It was a fun show.
As VR Montenegro says, he's ducking you, Dusty. That's what I'm saying. Stop ducking me, Stoff. We want you on the morning show twice a week. That's it.
Hey.
Make it happen, man.
Hey.
Step up. No more hiding. No more running and hiding.
No more hiding.
Let me ask you the real questions that people want to know.
We need to know.
Yeah, exactly. The Oil Stream presented to you by Boston Pizza. Playoff menu, just been killing it for a few months now. Yeah. Featuring a halftime square footer, flight of wings, triple play platter, and the new Chipotle chicken quesadillas. Fuel your fandom at Boston Pizza. Our next on location is going to be June 26th.
Aha.
It's a Wednesday.
Okay. Is that a game day or a non-game day? Because those are the only days I know.
That'll be game 8. That would be the morning of Game 8.
Can't wait.
It is actually the Wednesday in between whenever this final ends and the draft on the Friday.
Damn.
So, we'll give you the location and all that, but you can start to make plans. June 26th, we will be on location for an Oil Stream at a Boston Pizza location. All right, how's postgame? I mean, I popped in a little bit. I was out, but I popped in to check in and looked like everybody's happy.
Yeah, pretty good. I think, the relief of not watching the Panthers hoist the cup here in Edmonton, I think that was the big thing for most people. And then, you guys were talking about it on the morning show. What now? So you're telling me there's a chance. Yeah, I guess so, but one at a time, and the Panthers are still going to be pissed off. I think Florida's going to want to do what Edmonton did to it tomorrow night and kind of go out with a bang. The way that the Golden Knights did it to the Panthers, I think that's still in.
It goes at 9-3 that final.
It's 7-1 or something.
Was it 9-3? I think they had 9 because I looked it up. I was looking at the dates just last. I didn't mean to look up the score. I was looking up the dates of when last year's Stanley Cup final, and I'm pretty sure Game 5 was 9-3.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
there was a hat trick in there too, wasn't there?
Stone.
Golden Knights.
March or so, maybe.
Stone.
Yeah. Good guess, Dusty.
Well done.
That was my memory. Look at me. I'm a young Stoff. This is unreal.
Mine like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's that'd be the vibe that Florida Panthers
feel
fans
like it.
They're
going to want to stomp Edmonton. Now, if the Oilers come out, have an even better game somehow.
Holy
I'm not
smokes.
saying like an 8-1 win, but just like a tight performance that leads to a win. Awanek said it the other night. We were talking while the Oilers were cruising to victory. He goes, if this series comes back to Edmonton, there's no way the Oilers are losing on home ice.
And then if you go back to Florida for Game 7,
Flip a coin,
they're in
dude.
full-blown choke mode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Game 5 is...
It's
obviously huge anyway because if they... I mean, either Stanley Cup gets dished out or we think it's going 7.
Yeah.
So, wow. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
What a
Like,
final.
Florida's got a better game coming
Absolutely.
for them as well. But, so one of the questions we talked about this morning was, and people... And I'm sure the generic canned answer from both sides of this thing would be, it's just one game. It's just a loss. It's just a win, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the way the Oilers won, so for Florida, I mean, whatever. It's a loss for Florida.
Yeah.
I don't think the way Florida lost would rattle them at all. They should be able to be ready to bounce back. But for Edmonton, the way they won to get the confidence going offensively, to show that Bobrovsky can be beaten, to show that you can chase this guy from the net, I think that actually means more than a tight 4-3, like a tight 3-2 victory where the top 6 didn't. Let's say they win Game 4, 3-2, and the goals were from Janmark, Henrique, and Holloway. Just those first 3.
Sure.
They hang on and win the game 3-1, 3-2. I don't think that hits as hard and means as much moving forward in this series as the way they actually ended up winning it.
The stomping. Yeah. That's a good point. And if you got coming out of that win, guys who feel good and have found some little wrinkles and little tendencies from the Panthers that they think that they can expose going into Game 5, that's huge as well. And, like, does Bobrovsky bounce back strong? Probably, but, he's kind of – it's been interesting listening to people talk about him because he can go on these crazy stretches where he just lights out.
But then what can happen?
And then there's other times where it's like, what the hell happened to him? He's like a shell of what he was a week ago. I don't know if that's going to happen necessarily, but if the Oilers think that they've found a way to solve him, or if they've got the confidence in knowing how to get to him, finally, that's advantage Edmonton. If they can clean up their defensive zone too, Dusty, they were still a bit sloppy when it was
Skinner
close.
had a nice game. Skinner had a nice game. That save he made when it was 2-1 was like one of the best saves of his entire career.
But there was some like really bad outlet passes. Broberg and Nurse had a shift where they went back-to-back, like terrible rim, terrible outlet, icing. Bouchard had a couple. And then, as the offense started to pour in, the defensive side of the game got better. And I think, the Oilers crushed Florida's will to win that game when they started piling up the goals, and away they went after that. But yes, lots of good, and I think more positive for Edmonton. Obviously, Florida, if anything, just the motivation to smack Edmonton back, do it on home ice, and get this thing over with.
All right, if you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please tell your friends how easy it is to consume our content over here on EST. And if you want to chime in on the show today, any questions, your thoughts on a win being a win? Is it more than that in this situation? 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube right now, hammer the thumbs up for us. That'll push the oil stream out to more folks after the fact. So hammer the thumbs up over there as well. And if you've not yet subbed to the channel, we're about just over 50 subs away from hitting 9,000.
Awesome.
So give us a sub if you're listening on the podcast later on. Hop on over to our YouTube channel and give us a sub as well. We would very much appreciate that. Portions of the oil stream each and every day brought to you our great partners over at Popeyes. Things, of course, always get better over at Popeyes. Buffalo chicken wrap, buffalo poutine, in addition to all of the other absolutely delicious items that they've got on the go at any of the Popeyes locations. And if you're looking for a good one on the West End, where the Red Robins used to be, that one's been open for a few months as well. And it's I think it's the first ever, at least in Edmonton, I know for sure. There's no other Five Guys Popeyes combo
Hybrid?
locations.
Oh,
is there?
cool.
I don't think there is.
No, I don't think so.
Somebody would have told me about that already if that was a thing already. Yeah,
Five Guys is really good, actually.
Are you just realizing the Five Guys is
I'm
good? It sounds
remembering
like
because there's like when we go down to the U.S. when I was traveling with the team, or just in general, like there's Five Guys, Smash Burger, Carl's Jr. Oh, we have Carl's Jr. here.
Shake Shack in Vegas.
I love Shake Shack. Obviously, In-N-Out is legendary for good reason, but
never had In-N-Out.
No, it's really, you just have to have it, and it's always consistent. It's the same thing.
I want to have it because of the Big Lebowski, because that's where Donnie wanted to go.
It's great. Like, it's really good. And some people are like, oh, it's overhyped. Well, it's very simple. Like, you know what you're getting. They do it very well. They've mastered it, and this is what you get. Simple package. Enjoy. It's delicious. Very consistent. Shake Shack is like next level. It's like, I love Shake Shack.
Yeah, we went in
They have like
Vegas.
this cherry chili kind of burger thing. That's my favorite go-to there. And then nacho cheese on fries.
Nacho cheese on the fries.
Love that.
And a lot of these burger places that, like, sometimes not a lot separates the burger.
Yeah.
So to me, it does come down to like where the fries hit. And Five Guys fries are actually unreal.
And I could never remember, because Five Guys and Smash Burger were the two I'd get confused with one another, but it's Five Guys to me that's better than Smash Burger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Never had Smash Burger, so I don't know.
It's all right, but I would put In-N-Out, Shake Shack, and Five Guys well ahead of it.
Bottom line is that none of those places serve the best damn chicken you're ever going to have in your entire life. But Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen does just that. It's $12.19. You still get lunch today. Some of you probably haven't even lunch today. Order in, skip the dishes, Uber Eats, or just swing on by any of the Popeyes locations in town and get yourself the classic chicken sandwich.
Delicious.
All right, when we look at this series moving forward, well, no, this is the other thing I wanted to get to from last game. And everybody chime in if you're listening. What was the moment from last game? Like, if you were going to take, like, let's say they come back and win the cup and they have 16 moments from all of the games, one from each game, and it's all like a postcard. What would be the postcard moment? What's the stamp moment from game 4 for the Oilers?
Okay. I have to work my way through this.
Okay, sure, yeah, that's fine.
I thought the response to Florida's goal, when Holloway got the goal to retake the 2-goal lead, I thought that was huge. Okay, McDavid scoring early in game or second period of game 4 to extend the lead to 3.
Yeah.
I think. Now they're feeling it, but I think what made it a runaway and you're like, it's over, was the Nurse goal.
So to make it
5-1. You're like, this is it, because we've seen the Oilers blow 4-1 leads before this postseason.
Yeah,
and there's still a lot of time left. But like, McDavid scores.
That was when you knew it was over.
Yeah, and then Nurse buries that one, and they let McDavid walk right in, drops it to Nurse. Nurse snaps it home. That's it. Game. You chase Bobrovsky 25 minutes in, over. Done. That's, to me, was the moment from game 4.
Okay, so that would be like the biggest moment of the hockey game. Mm-hmm. But what do you think you look back on as like the most memorable, or like the visually stunning, almost like the Skinner save is like that Skinner save 2-1.
That was insane.
So if the Oilers are up 2-0, and then let it get to 2-2,
trouble.
Then everybody's like, well, there goes another 2-0 lead right away. Mm-hmm. Instead, Skinner makes not just a save, but an excellent save.
Yeah,
and makes it 2-1. I think the Holloway second goal where he kind of ended up going up a bit. Like, there's a one screen cap I saw Pro-Am had kind of tweet out from not the best view of it, but like he's kind of in the air going through, and that was kind of cool. There was a few different moments.
Skinner, maybe the Skinner save, yeah. But I thought that you knew it was over as soon as the Nurse buried that one. You're like, they're all over them. Game. Yeah. But the big 2-on-1 save was a monster. A lot of great moments in that game.
Well, that's why I asked.
A lot of great moments.
That's why I was like, what is the big one? This one is
I gave you 7 answers.
Game 4 landmark moment. That's a good way to describe it. The landmark moment. Game 4 landmark moment was the shorthanded goal, including Skinner's saves. Janmark's second shorthanded goal.
How about Janmark and Brown?
Well, yeah. I mean,
wow.
They're not going to have room to like give them any sort of decent amount of money next year.
Of course not.
But if those guys want to come back on close to $1 million, then they'd probably bring them back at close to $1 million.
Brown, if he wants to do them a solid,
he's already got paid. Yeah, their cap hits. He's already getting the cap. Yeah.
So he
should probably just volunteer next year. I mean, after this
year. The PA would not be appreciative of that, but
what's happening? Oh no, I gave them a $3.75 million IOU.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to play next year.
It's a big one,
just for funsies. You're going to keep that one.
Yeah.
Kenny, new GM, you're going to want to keep that one. But yeah, those guys. I mean, those guys were great. They were driving a lot of that. Like
they have been.
And I'll give you a pat on the back, a tickle on the shoulder. Matthias Janmark, your guy, literally doesn't piss an offensive drop the entire regular season, but has had some moments here in the playoffs. And I mean, that was very impressive. Like if that group comes together like they did last game, man, this is a series.
Yep.
And Florida will answer back, right? I remember after game 1 being like, Florida, look at the Oilers. They got lucky. Like but then Panthers played really well in game 2 and all of a sudden kind of got control of the series at that point. So you expect a bigger thing. A push here from Florida.
Absolutely.
In game 5. Let's get to a few of your thoughts over on YouTube. If you're watching over there right now, hammer the thumbs up for us. That'd be awfully nice of you. Rip City Stats, Bob getting pulled. That building was ready to blow.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's another one. Like you could landmark stamp that moment, Bobrovsky skating out of the net towards the bench. You're like, that's the moment.
That's
right there.
the moment.
That's the one. They've chased a guy who looked absolutely unbeatable for the first 3 games. Robin says McDavid scoring blocker, straight up laser. That's one that you could look at as well. Ripsy says Sarah Nurse celebrating Darnell's goal was great visuals as well.
And then
right along the glass,
that was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that one. Rick Brown over in the Nasty Chat says, guys, the NHL season is too long. It's almost bloody July, and they're still playing.
Yep.
Too many days off between games. Well, yeah, the whole wait to play the Stanley Cup Final took, 5-6 days off for both teams?
Like 6 days off. We're 9 days into the Stanley Cup Final. They've played 4 games.
There could still be 10 days left.
Yeah.
It's weird to talk about here because this market's absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
And it's been great. And if they come back for game 6, the party's going to be bloody insane. But I do not blame hockey fans across the country if they're not fully and the ratings show, like game 3's ratings were under 3 million.
Yeah.
Across the country for a Stanley Cup Final featuring a Canadian team.
Yep.
So it's showing that it's mid-June, now transitioning towards late June. They're still playing hockey, and you're losing eyes because of it. You really are.
I know.
Stanley Cup should be dished out by June 1st, June 5th at the latest, man. Like,
I'm with you on that.
We're loving it. We're enjoying it here. It's great content for us. We're not complaining about it. But I can see why other people would be like, hey, you watching the Stanley Cup Final?
Nope.
No, I'm golfing. I'm on vacation.
I'm on holidays.
Kids are almost out of school. Like the Stanley Cup will be dished out. If it goes 7, Stanley Cup will be dished out on the 24th. I think our kids' last day of school is the 26th. Like it's too long. It's too long. Simple as that.
It is insane. And the 2 days between games now makes it even more annoying. So,
well, it's a little bit of a buzzkill.
It is a buzzkill.
It is a buzzkill in the series. I know travel-wise, especially with this distance, I get it, but it's still a buzzkill in the series.
They had the schedule laid out before it was even determined which teams were going to be in it. Like Pagnotta came on Hello Hockey, and he's like, whoever wins, if the Panthers get by the Rangers or the Oilers and Stars go 7, whatever. He's like, this is what it's going to be. Starts June 8th. First 4 games, and then 2 days between games, 4 and 5, 5 and 6, 6 and 7. And he had it all before the league even announced it, and with 4 teams still in there. So they've planned this out well ahead of time, and this was deliberate, obviously.
Horribly deliberate. I don't get it. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know why as a league you're like, you know what would be great for us? If we were giving out our league championship 4 days before the draft when everybody else is already watching other things. It doesn't make sense to me. It's ridiculous.
Utah unveiled its uniforms and that it would be called Utah HC or whatever this year. And I was like, they're doing that already? And then I look at the calendar. I'm like, no, the draft's in 2 weeks, you idiot.
Yeah.
They need to get everything settled. We're
not going to have a lot of time to prep for free agency.
No.
Like our free agency preview shows, we're going to have 10 to 14 days max. Well, not even 14 days would be now. We're going to have 10 days max to dive into, which is great. I mean, those are going to be great shows too. Yeah. But it's still, I don't know. It just seems too long to me. At least in this market, everybody's fine with it, but I'm assuming it's just not being taken in very well across the rest of the country. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We will get to a few more of your comments over there. You can text us 780-218-9999 to get into the inbox. Pat is in and says, I've watched 3 games while camping. It's not usually how you want to consume your Stanley Cup final, but I mean, it could be a fun time too, depending on the camping setup. Big Slam Nasty is in 780-218. By the way, Tommy Gazzola, Hudson's West Edmonton Mall tomorrow night for Game 5.
Yes.
That play, Tommy will not be sitting there giving you a seat. You will go in. You will find your own seat. I suggest you be there early or call for a table.
Yep.
I know some nasties will be in the house after hearing this news. So tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Hudson's West Edmonton Mall for Game 5.
I love how adamant you are that I will not be dishing out seats and I don't know where you can sit.
We don't need to go there again.
And it's because people were asking you.
You're stupid.
And I was like, this is what happens.
I could totally understand it if there wasn't a huge-ass sign that said seat yourself right in front of us.
Literally.
I mean, if there was no sign there, I get it. You're sitting there. You look like you're on your, where can we sit? We'll put you at table 47. Click.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it kind of looks like.
Sure.
But there's a big sign right there. So get there early, get a seat, and enjoy the game tomorrow night with Tommy Gazzola. GCL Diesel pregame show and postgame show from Hudson's at West Edmonton Mall. Mm-hmm. All right, Big Slam Nasty says, guys, if the first period doesn't go well tomorrow, do you try putting Brown and Janmark with 97?
Whoa.
They bring the buzz, and then you could stack up the other 3 lines with the rest of the guys.
I don't know about that.
Probably getting a little bit too carried away with the Janmark, Brown, but I mean, just leave them where they are.
Leave them where they are. Let them cook. And remember when Janmark started Game 1 against Vancouver on McDavid's line? No bueno. No bueno.
Remember that?
Leave that alone. I unfortunately
that was one of the craziest things ever.
And Knobloch stuck with him there. There's been some moments. Listen, for the most part, Chris Knobloch has just pushed the right buttons. He deserves the praise he's gotten. But there have been a few where you're like, what was that? And one of them was putting Janmark on the top line with McDavid and leaving him up there for the entire Game 1. And McDavid, everyone's like, what the hell happened to McDavid tonight after Game 1 against the Canucks? It's like, well, he had Matthias Janmark on his left side.
I think this is what people say. Rare Knobloch L.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that? I see that on social media all the time.
Rare Knobloch
L. Rare Knobloch L, I think is... That's what it should have gone.
Rip City Step. No, you may not request a song from me at Hudson's. I will not tell you where you can sit, and I will not be able to play a song for you.
Rod Z says, guys, we scored 10 goals in the last 4 periods. LFG. Michael Cook was asking something over the Nasty at Chew and says, how calm was Bob after getting pulled? But I guess he had lost his mind in the tunnel initially, and the broadcast never saw it.
Yeah, that tunnel that's tucked behind the bench. That's the tunnel where you can do whatever you want. Sound doesn't travel.
So you can say what you can do.
Cameras aren't there, yeah.
Whatever's going on down there.
Break stuff. You can go into the visiting WHL locker room and go berserk if you want.
Composed once he was back on camera, though.
Oh, sure. Probably had a cigarette back there or something.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. You definitely just run this thing back in game 5? You have to.
Yep.
Right? You got to go with the lineup that kept you alive.
What are you going to, Kane's banged up. I think he's tapped out for the series. I'm pretty sure, unless he miraculously heals enough that he's effective. But
you can't bring back the Kane we saw when he was playing. You can't bring that guy back in the series. So unless there's, you're right, some sort of miraculous recovery where he can actually go out and disturb some SHIT.
Not going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Exactly. Today I saw Shoggy put it out there, same lines they were practicing with as the game. Go do it again. It might not be 8-1, but if you can pull off 1-goal victory. Tomorrow's going to be tense. I'll just say that. It's going to be super tense. If you surprise them, if you get the win, or somehow continue and create momentum, which we know doesn't really carry in the postseason, you bring this thing back here, that's huge.
Do you think, we've seen at times both ways. I mean, they can get up and then let it slip away. But we've seen them fall behind and push back. in other matchups as well.
Yeah.
If Florida gets up 2-0, 12 minutes in or something, you think that's it?
Yeah.
I don't like how good Florida is and the home crowd. Now, it's not an Edmonton crowd. I don't know if you heard what Craig Button said today.
What did he say?
So Button.
I heard some of him today.
Well, Button basically laid it out that the only two places he thinks in the league that have crowds like what we saw in Edmonton, obviously Edmonton. He says it's just like the fans, it's in their soul when you get into that building. He said it's Edmonton and Montreal. He goes, Montreal and these types of situations are the exact same type of thing. He goes, that's it. And so then I said, well, man, Canucks fans are not going to like you. And then he kind of went off on Canucks fans a little bit. I was like, careful.
I caught some of that.
Careful, Craig. Like, that's the last thing you want. That's the last thing you want.
Whatever.
But yeah, I don't think it'll be the point of, oh man, the Oilers have been taken out by the crowd in Florida. But I do think falling behind 2-0 when the Florida Panthers have a chance to win the bloody Stanley Cup at home. I don't know. I don't know if you're climbing back out of that hole, I guess.
Yeah.
When we've seen them do it against some of these other teams.
And their defensive structure, their defenseman, their blue line, it's
like,
excellent.
Game 4 was a one-off.
One-off,
I mean, you're not going to see another one like that, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Corey B says, no high fives. You're a professional. So, like, no high fives when you're doing your pre and post?
I do handshakes.
Do people try to high five you while you're doing that?
I think VR Montenegro tried too. I can't remember if I gave him one or not. I might sneak one in there if people are hyped up. I'm gonna just give them a little.
Oh, you're gonna a little fist?
Well, good. No, give them
That's
a
nice.
fist bump.
Yeah, I'm like not moving your elbow much, just a little. They can fist you. You're just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
Like this. Yeah, makes
Bones.
sense. J. Siggy Rocker to 780-218-9999 says, if this thing goes to 7 games, I will be watching while camping at Wassa Lake, BC in the Oilers van. Hopefully no Vancouver Canucks fans. They are still bitter.
They are still bitter.
It's a nice looking van, too. It's a nice picture of his van.
Is that the one where like all the people were on top of it and they sent us the picture? Or is that a different one?
I don't know if that's a crew. Is that the same van? Might be.
Maybe. I can't
Might be a
remember.
different van.
There's like
J.
10
Siggy Rocker,
people.
were you in that crew that had the party? Let me just scroll through his text history here. Oh, lots of good texts, actually. Oh, wait. Is that the one?
Box Pounder, you cannot touch my hair.
Maybe a little bit, though, right?
Yeah,
You
maybe
think?
a little. It depends how I'm feeling.
Maybe a little bit. Have fun at Wassa Lake. That's like 25 minutes from Cranbrook.
Is it?
And it's a very warm lake. Wassa Lake's a great place. You know, there's a place at Wassa Lake. I think Rob Brown has a place at Wassa Lake.
Does he?
I'm pretty sure Rob Brown has a
does?
place at Wassa Lake. I'm like 99% sure we've talked about that. We were golfing together, and he brought up that he has a place at Wassa, which is a pretty good idea. I like that. My parents camp at Wassa once in a while as well. 780-218-9999. Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by our official betting partners over at Coolbet. Visit them at coolbet.com. The odds are up for this game, and the Edmonton Oilers are a road dog in Game 5 plus 116. Florida Panthers at home minus 137 right now. We will have an EST parlay that will be posted for you as well. That'll be up tomorrow while we're doing 2 guys and a goalie, and the lock shop will have that up for you. The Oilers to come back and win this series right now. This is so you can bet the Oilers plus 116 to win Game 5. But if they win Game 5, I think people are gonna you're really gonna like. They're not really gonna like because they'll still be down 3-2. It's still the whole overcoming 3-0. But they're gonna have much better look at coming home and then forcing a Game 7. You never know what happens in a Game 7. So I think the play here, like if you think the Oilers can win Game 5, why get it at plus 116 when you can just take them to win the series right now at plus 700?
Yeah.
At 7-1.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to win. If they win Game 5, you get it at plus 116. But then that series winner number is going to drop from like 7-1 down to 3 or 4-1. Probably 3, maybe plus 3, probably cut in half. So then you're sitting there and you're missing out on that value when you could have had it at 7-1. So I think the play right now, if you have any faith in the Oilers at all, whether to win like Game 5 or whatever, I think the play right now then would be to hammer the Oilers at 7-1 to win the Stanley Cup. That makes more sense, doesn't it?
That's how I would do it. Like I would not a little sprinkle, just go all out.
You're going to just hammer the 7-1.
Well, if you're going to bet, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you're a little sprinkle.
I mean, the plus 116, it's just like, cool, you doubled your money, kind of.
It's like, do you want to bunt single or do you want to crank one out of the park here?
Yeah. Because if you're betting them to win Game 5, you know you're betting them to win Game 6, and there's no way you're not going to bet them to win Game 7 if they've won 3 in a row. So you might as well just take them at the 7-1 right now over at Coolbet.com. I think. For all my fellow DGens out there, what say you?
Rip City Step was referencing, he deleted the message in the nasty chat, but getting baptized in Gatorade. Did you hear about this?
No.
It was like Catholic.org or something like that. They created an AI-generated priest named Father Justin.
Okay.
And you could ask for wisdom and advice. And his wisdom and advice was you can get baptized in Gatorade if you want. So they had to downgrade Father Justin to just Justin. And he can give you religious advice and guidance. And it's AI. So, Rip City Step, that was funny.
That AI is scary, man. What can you say?
Now I'm getting baptized in 6 o'clock or lager when the comeback is complete. According
That's a good idea, actually.
Anyway.
That's a really good idea. Baptizing people in the 6 o'clock or lager to be a member of the Nasty.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll set it up. We'll set it up at the Nasty Bash.
That'd be hilarious.
At the Nasty Bash in late July. You can come on out. Eric and I will baptize you in 6 o'clock or lagers. Somebody will do that. 100%. That'd be a great video.
Why am I seeing Troy in my mind somewhere
Well, I
around
see
there?
Troy like kind of overseeing it all as the Godfather. I mean, he is the guy. Like, you always need a witness.
Yeah.
That would be Troy there as the witness, I think.
He'll be the one like presenting you with the
with
holy
the
6 o'clocker. Yeah.
They have the 6, and it's in a little bowl.
And he's holding it like perfectly.
Yeah.
His feet together.
No, not in a bowl, in a can. Because I want to pour it out of the can onto people's hair as they lay back like this.
He cracks it for you.
You know what? If this year's Nasty Bash is anything like last year's Nasty Bash, that's going to happen. Like last year's Nasty Bash, 6 o'clocker didn't exist. But this year's Nasty Bash, which will be happening again at the St. Albert Rugby Club in late July, the birdie booze will be flowing. And the 6 o'clocker lager, Fergie's Prostate. Fergie, let us know if you think it's cool if we take people out onto the deck and baptize them in 6 o'clocker lager.
Norman at Combine says he's first to be baptized. All caps.
Yeah, in all caps, too. I don't think I've ever seen Norm in the Nasty Chat in all caps. But here he is. Here he is. That's amazing. You know what? Well, that's going to be a thing. That's a thing now. That'll definitely be a thing. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. Let's try to push to 100 likes today. We're at 63 right now. We definitely bang out 37 here in the last 2 minutes. Let's do this. I haven't given out the key word for Golf Town yet, have I?
Let's go. Nope. Not yet.
All right, let's get into it. It is the $100,000 hole-in-one. See if I got this right.
You keep adding to that thing. I've noticed. It's very impressive.
Well, we keep adding things so I got to keep adding to graphics to my little Stream Deck device.
I love it.
Which controls the computer that's way over there. It's amazing.
Technology.
It's the $100,000 hole-in-one presented to you by Golf Town. We got to be in a spot here, and shout out to Murray McCord who got a hole-in-one. You guys talked about that on the hangout, right?
Amazing.
He got it on the 8th. We're doing it on the 17th.
Yep.
It's a 180-yard par 3. $100,000. 25 of you will have a swing unless somebody wins it. Then the rest of you will be SOL. But you got to start by getting in here right now. You got to start by qualifying right now. So we'll give you the keyword. If you want to go hit up. Did you say your dad had a hole-in-one?
He has a hole-in-one, yeah.
Which course was that at? I missed that part. Did you say it on
Ravencrest.
Oh, yeah. You've told me this story before.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like blind? Was it a little bit blind
of
a shot?
It was a bit of a worm burner.
Okay, yeah.
And it just...
Oh, man, does that feel different?
No, it went in.
Okay, no, okay, all right.
But the reaction he got when he went to the clubhouse, it was kind of underwhelming, he remembered. Because, Murray says you can get, when you get a hole-in-one at the ranch, you get a nice box where you can put the ball in, has a little thing.
Very nice.
Jason in Leduc actually sent in the one he got out of New Sarepta. And he had a little plaque with where the ball's in there and the scorecard as well. And it says what day and all that. But my dad did, and he let the club out. He's like, hey, I got a hole-in-one. and bought a round for everybody that was in there. And then they were just kind of like, "Oh, cool." That was it. He's like, "That's it."
That's all that happens.
Like, "Oh, cool, man."
Golf Town summer savings right now. Save up to 40% on top brand golf shoes, Nike, FootJoy, among others, Adidas, Under Armour, and more. And this is great timing for this one. Buy one, get one. Srixon inline golf balls. Select styles. I love that they have to put a limit of 8 dozen per customer
Guys
on
go
this.
crazy on that stuff.
Well, it's buy one, get one free. You're
Yeah.
going to want to go in and just load up. A limit of 8 dozen per customer. Today's key word on the oil stream actually is Srixon. Srixon.
This tricky one.
Is it Srixon?
Srixon.
Yeah. Sometimes I say Srixon. Srixon.
Works.
Srixon. Text Srixon, and Srixon could be your key to having a swing at $100,000. And think about this. Things have gone really well in this city since we launched Edmonton Sports Talk.
It really has.
6 o'clocker lagers become the number one Alberta selling craft beer at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Birdie Booze is moving very well. The Edmonton Oilers are in a Stanley Cup final and have some momentum right now. They sucked until we cracked the first 6 o'clocker lager. The Edmonton Stingers are airing their games on our station. They're 6-2, perfect on the road. And the Riverhawks are 2 games out of first place behind the Apple Sox, and their games are on the station as well. So I'm just saying things have been going very well in this city since we launched EST.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what would be a cherry on top? Somebody winning $100,000 with a hole-in-one at the ranch, which would just be amazing.
That would be so cool.
But the hole-in-one contest is July 9th, and our golf tournament, or the hole-in-one contest July 3rd.
Yes.
Golf tournament is July 9th.
Yes.
So we need some weather here.
I know. I
We
feel
gotta
like
some,
we're going to get
Have we looked
some.
at the 2-week forecast?
Don't even bother with that.
It wouldn't matter anyway because
It changes. Like anything outside of, I think, 3 days, it's really a guess.
Josh Clausen's going to have to help us out that
Let's
day.
go, Josh.
We're going to need some bloody weather that week from July 3rd to the 10th.
Yes.
Let's go. Give us the weather. The last thing we want. We saw some of the swag roll in.
It's looking good.
Matty Iwanek is, if anybody knows how to organize a golf tournament, it's Matty Iwanek. You should see the hats.
Hats are nice.
The hats that we got for
tees.
Everybody's coming. He's going to get a hat. It's going to be good. The tees, we got tees. We got
the other door.
We don't want to get everything. Obviously, you're going to get a hat.
Yeah.
But it's shaping up. It's shaping up nicely, buddy.
I'm very excited for
I'm
this.
pretty excited about it as well.
I was talking to Pagnotta about it. He's coming.
Oh yeah,
back
he's
to
coming
town
out, isn't
for
he?
it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "It's gonna be a runaway." I'm like, "Yep, probably. That's what happens."
Yeah, he's a little messy, eh?
He had with him and Bernstein. Belsey got the green light Saturday night. I tagged up with everybody. It was super fun.
Oh my god!
Big thank you to all the fine folks in the industry that own bars and restaurants and let us in when it was just jam packed. Like Rick over at the Pint, he's like, "Let's go." There's like a line of 100 people. I brought Steve Wino with us.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been tough to slide in there on Saturday.
It was, it was insane.
Yeah.
Sal over at Bauer.
How many places did you go?
Oh,
on
we went to
Saturday?
like 8 places.
How? What, you just popping in for one and then?
Pretty much.
See, I like to set up shop.
No,
man.
well, we ended up at Employees Only, which is right by where Maddie and I live, and the crew out there was fantastic.
How'd you get in there if it's
Same
employees
thing.
only?
I think Dave knew the guys there,
Okay.
and I had met them before. They're awesome. Where else did we end up? There was a few other places en route, and it was just like one there. Okay, pop in on our way. We stop here, get one, and then finally ended up at Employees Only. It was a fun night. It was super fun.
Klaus is listening right now. Says, I'm on the forecast. I'll send you an update later in the week. Good.
Let's go.
If you were ever going to prove to me that you're the ultimate weatherman, you would deliver sunshine and around 24 degrees on July 3rd and then again on July 9th. If that happens, Klaus, I'll kiss you on the lips.
Please don't.
I might anyway. I love that guy.
I just respect him and think he's already the ultimate weatherman.
He's the best.
I will not kiss you on the lips, Josh Clausen. I will give you a firm handshake and say thank you.
Box Powder says, "What about a dunk tank filled with birdie booze?" Ooh, that's gonna be pricey. I don't know if we could roll out a dunk tank. That would be something though.
You'd need a couple kegs, right?
I want to get it set up. I want to get it set up so that people can just come over, like in the old timey days, and use like a ladle and just scoop up their birdie booze and just go. Ah.
Oh, gross.
That'd be pretty good, I think. I think that'd be fun,
Oh,
man.
boy.
Anyway, Nasty Bash this year is we got a great summer coming up.
We do.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't believe we're still sitting here talking about the Edmonton Oilers.
And it's just fine.
Okay, skates today.
Let's get to it.
The Florida Panthers, who was not on the ice today, Tommy?
Bennett, Tkachuk, Ekblad, from what I saw.
So they must be all going to miss Game 5, I would guess.
I would assume no.
Oh, they're going to be back.
Maybe.
What are the odds of that?
All good, says Paul Maurice
Yeah.
when referencing Bennett, Tkachuk, and Ekblad, who did not skate today.
What have you made of Bennett so far in this series?
He's
I know
a
he's
weasel
like,
as usual.
Yeah, he's target number 1 in Edmonton right
added
now
some
because
offense.
he's a little bit of a weasel.
I think he's come as advertised.
You'd love him as an
I
Edmonton
have
brother.
a lot of time for what Sam Bennett does, and you hear fan bases that are playing against him hate him for the things we've seen in this series, for the things we've seen, like that punch to Marchand.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it kind of eases
Marchand,
the blow
what goes
when it's
around comes
Marchand.
around.
Yeah,
buddy,
exactly. But that's Sam Bennett. He's like the ultimate greaser on the ice. I've been surprised by Tkachuk and his lack of impact. And then Ekblad's just been really solid back there. I mean, he's a good player.
We asked Button about Tkachuk earlier today because he actually described him as the weak link right now
Yeah, I
on
heard
the
that.
Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
What's he got? 1 assist. He only has 2 goals since the 3rd game of the playoffs. So it's not like it's all of a sudden something new here.
No, it's not.
He's got 1 assist, and he's -3 in the Stanley Cup final right now. I thought I saw a couple of the games ago people talking about how he's banged up or whatever, and he's trying to fight through some stuff.
Okay,
But like,
sure.
he's still moving around well enough to like. I think he looks fine. The production's just not there. So
Yeah.
what are you seeing? What are you not seeing? And do you think
I don't
do you think
notice
Game
him.
5 could be a Tkachuk game? Like the only time
Well-
I notice him is when after the whistle, he's punching McDavid in the head 3 times,
Right.
or getting punched and being like, "Oh, they got me!"
No,
Like,
I don't think it'll be a Tkachuk game.
no,
And he's a big game player, too. Like, he was in his junior days. I know that was a long time ago, but he generally is a big game player. He rises to the occasion. He has big moments. I don't know if he's in a funk the same way that, Darnell Nurse has been this playoffs. Just it's not going for him, and he can't turn it around. I don't know what it is, but I don't notice him out there. And you said it took for him to be punching Connor McDavid for you to be like, oh, there's Matthew Tkachuk. Yeah, like I don't know if it's just the game's not there or he's not feeling it. Maybe he's a little bit nicked up. I don't know. But if they're not skating today, that's probably a sign that he's dealing with something like most guys are. But it's just ineffective. Ineffective. Ekblad's been good. Bennett's been good. I've noticed Rodriguez a lot. I've noticed Barkov a lot, obviously. So their big dogs are doing what they're expected to.
but not
except
one of
for
the bigger
Tkachuk.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll. I mean, they're up 3-1 with Tkachuk not really necessarily moving the needle in this series. Well, not
Exactly.
necessarily. He just hasn't moved the needle yet in this series. So we'll see how that plays out. Big Maple says, hey, have a bunch of hummingbird feeders loaded with birdie booze, and we're just mangled up drinking like hummingbirds at the St. Albert Rugby Club. You can hang them on the outside on that thing, and then everybody's, what's going on with these guys? Birdie booze is legit, man. If you have not tried the birdie booze yet, I'm telling you, you are going to absolutely love it.
That is hilarious.
You got to pick some up.
Can you do that hummingbird thing again?
Yeah, you just had a hummingbird feeder going like this. That's exactly what a hummingbird looks like. Let's
Yep.
be honest.
Yeah, just like that.
I hate hummingbirds
Why?
because they're creepy.
They're adorable.
No, they're not adorable.
They're beautiful little
How in the
creatures.
hell does a bird move their wings that quickly?
I don't know.
No
It
no
evolved that
living
way.
thing should be able to move their wings that quickly.
It evolved.
It doesn't make sense to me. We used to on the farm. We used to have a feeder somewhere around the trailer that we lived in, and I would be outside trying to play hockey and stuff, and the bloody hummingbirds would just be flying back and forth to this feeder. It sucked, man. I have a major fear of hummingbirds. I don't know.
They're tiny. They're like this
Yeah, but you
big.
could never go like this to a hummingbird. Come sit on my finger. Like you couldn't do that.
Yeah. Why do you want?
Well, I don't know. That's what people do with birds, right? Like
I don't.
you couldn't have a hummingbird as a pet or anything. It's too rambunctious.
My
I
dad
don't even
had-
know how hummingbirds would mate.
The power of nature.
You think they sit down for that? Like stop flying? Or you think they try to mate while flying?
I think that.
That'd be the way to go.
Yeah.
That'd be impressive.
I noticed some pigeons mating downtown the other day. It was disgusting.
It's gross.
Sky rats.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Did you stop and watch?
I unfortunately noticed it and was like, oh,
that's gross.
We don't need more of those.
No, that's the last thing you need.
No more sky rats.
God, you need to get a new place, buddy.
No, I just got a place. I love my place.
All right. Well, anyway, I hate hummingbirds. And I'd like to shoot one if they weren't so damn quick, and you probably could never do it. Speaking of pigeons getting it on, Josh Clausen has texted me back and says, I'm applying lip balm already.
Oh, my God.
See, so that means we're going to have great weather on July 3rd and July 9th. I don't care about the rest of the summer. Mind you, I do, because I want the Elks to get some good weather.
I do, too.
I mean, it just, we both worked the game.
Yeah.
And it was bloody pouring when I got there. It was probably still raining when you got there.
It was. By the way, I forgot my umbrella there, so if you see a golf umbrella around the track, that's mine.
You left it down on the field?
Yeah.
It might still be there. Was it down in down in the dip?
By the table where we have the stuff.
It might be gone. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it might still be there. Somebody probably picked it up for you.
I told her now.
But like their first two games have been impact. And then it's wedged between two Oilers Stanley Cup final games. I feel bad for the attendance for the Elks. Like on top of not winning and everything else they're fighting, for the weather to screw them out of crowds the first two games of the year sucks the big one. So I do want weather for the Riverhawks, and I want weather for the Elks, and I want weather for at least 2 days for EST. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
That's not much. We were in
if it rains on the day of the $100,000 hole-in-one contest, I'm going to block Clausen from the stream. You know, like we can block people from listening. Block his
and not
block
kiss
his
him
device.
on the lips.
And block his device and not kiss him on the lips.
Didn't expect to hear that today.
Anyway, we don't need 2 games between. We don't need 2 days between games.
No, but we have them.
Simple as that. All right, we'll have 2 guys in goalie to preview things tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
June 26th, we will be on location at a Boston Pizza. Mm-hmm. I will tweet out the dates for that. That'll be fun because no matter what, the series will be over by then, and we'll be talking about. Well, we won't talk much about the draft. I mean, they're drafting
30th, 31st.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
32nd. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. But how many picks do they have?
I can't remember.
I mean,
they traded away there.
They got nothing. Like they're not. I don't think they're picking until the 4th round. Let me just double check.
You still have a couple weeks of cap friendly available.
Well, yeah, but there's ads popping up. Oh, they have their 2nd.
Yeah.
That's right. They don't have their 4th. They have their 2nd. So they have a 2nd. Then they don't pick till 5th. And 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. So, I mean, we'll still be covering the draft. We'll be talking about it a lot, but free agency will be the main focus to see what they got. You got to either you lose the Stanley Cup final and you got to turn this roster around in 10 days, or you win the Stanley Cup final. You got to figure out who's going to stay, how you can afford
the roster,
and then figure it around. Like it's.
I'm looking forward to the text that comes in. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, that says, guys, do you think they're looking at so-and-so and so-and-so and this guy potentially with pick number 61 in the draft? Because there's someone out there being like, oh, I could see them getting this guy, and he's going to be great. He should be projected first rounder. He might slip to
I can't wait till they pass on that guy.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, what are you doing?
You guys screwed up your draft. It's like, well, they only have 4 picks.
The others might have just won the Stanley Cup, but their drafting this year is garbage.
You could have had that guy that nobody's ever heard of.
I could see that being a thing.
That will be a thing.
For sure. Tommy will be at Hudson's West Edmonton Mall GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show on Tuesday night for Game 5. And, man, they can push it back. We would sit here Wednesday on Orstrom talking about, oh, my God, huge game on Friday, which would be a lot of fun as well. We do have that VIP table Sunday night, VIP table at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Just text winning right now to 780-218-9999. If you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Nielsen Show replay coming up here at 1 o'clock this morning as well. If you're watching over on YouTube, let's hammer the thumbs up before we leave. I love this. Tom the pervert. For watching those pigeons have sex.
It was right in front of me. I couldn't miss it.
Don't try to deny it. You could have saw it and gone like, oh, gross, and kept walking.
I did say, oh, gross, and it was literally happening in front of me.
But you still watched.
Yeah.
Pervert.
It's nature taking its course. Beautiful.
All right, hammer the thumbs up
Unreal.
On YouTube before you leave. Nielsen Show tomorrow, Hangout tomorrow, Lock Shop tomorrow, and 2 guys in the goalie with myself, Gage and Cass tomorrow. as well. One more time, text winning to 780-218-9999. For the pigeon pervert over here, Tommy Gazzola, I am Dustin Nielson. Talk to you tomorrow.